In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing a thing for the podcast.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast.
What's Mikey doing? Why isn't he here?
He's out in Lejeune.
Mikey's just living his best life.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Right?
I know the last time I saw him, he was pretty shit-faced, and then he was getting on a plane early the next morning.
Oh, that's right. You went out drinking with him for the Marine Corps birthday. Yeah.
He went out to go do. So I don't know. Anyways, fuck boys.
Yes, fuck boys.
This is the Freedom Friends podcast, and we're coming to you not even fucking close to live. Actually, we're pretty close to live these days. I think it's like a fucking 12-hour delay between we record and it goes out. But from where?
The Warfighter Tobacco Studios.
In?
Reasonable. San Antonio.
It's beautiful outside.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. I'm Jazz. That's John.
I'm Dave.
That's Scott. And Davey's with us.
Yay.
I would say stunt beard, but now you're just like the stunt stash.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call that sweet chin music. You have a beard.
No, it's definitely not a beard. I just slacked on shaving, so I'm probably going to let it grow back out. So
yeah,
this is like, isn't this like 3 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row for me? 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah, I think we've been hot swapping the chairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody's always got to.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's that time of year, though.
Yeah, no, our travel schedules for the last month and a half have been stupid.
It's just that time of year.
It's not going to get better.
No.
Well, that also means that Warfighter's busy, and
Yes.
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So, anyways, yeah. So we're a podcast. We're brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. And if you go over there and use the code
FTFO.
John, there you go. Look at that. Fucking Davey on it. You'll get a sweet 15% off your order over there for all of your delicious smokable needs. And can't live without accessories.
No, right. Yes.
So they're pretty phenomenal. You guys, the bundle deal isn't working anymore right now, right?
Which
the
bundle?
sale of
the ashtray.
ashtray.
We're done
That's
with that
done,
one.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's done. We look out for Black Friday, though.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Black Friday is usually a good day for us. It's not that far away anymore. What, like a week and a half?
Yeah,
I think it's
week and a
like-
half.
Yeah.
It'll be our biggest sale of the year.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you know.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then,
and not like that extra percentage. It's a significant one.
Yeah.
So.
means some.
Yeah.
Stock up that humidor. And then owellness.us, our friends over there for all your CBD needs. You can use the code FreedomFriends25 over there for a quarter off your order. And you can rub that on whatever you want.
I'll just leave it at that.
That's going to be just about everything.
Yeah. You can even rub it on your insides. They got tinctures and shit over there too.
Yes, they do.
Oh, you can lick the little spinny wheel on top, I suppose.
I would probably not suggest licking the hand sanitizer gel spinny wheel, though.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I mean, you
I
can
wonder what happened if
you
you licked the roll on.
Your tongue would go numb.
Or just really relaxed.
Like, what's that dude's name in that everybody hates? Jar Jar Binks. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when it goes numb.
It's my tongue.
Or if you just really wanted to play a prank on your chick, you could fucking lick the roll on and then fucking mouth the box.
Or just roll on the box.
Yeah. Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
Wait a minute, does it work on buttholes?
Why
I
wouldn't
would
it?
probably start in the shower.
Well,
Jazz,
then
I think you have a new mission.
then you well, then you wouldn't have to start in the shower.
Well, the good news is you can
You just
check
hit it
on
with
your
the
own
roll-on.
butthole.
We're about to lose our wellness sponsor.
But it's time. But it's topical.
If he's stuck with us
It is
this long,
topical.
So it would only numb the outside.
That's all you really need. Once you're inside, who cares?
Well, if you numb your outside and I go inside, you might not even know that I'm inside.
Exactly.
Because you're
And
outside.
that's typically the biggest complaint.
Right.
Yeah.
What if you both? Never mind.
Like, are you worried about having a bullet in you or the actual penetration of the round?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Penetration.
Yeah, it's the penetration that you're actually worried about. So if you can
It
numb
doesn't
that,
matter how far it goes in. It's just
It's
that
when it goes in.
penetrates.
it's right.
Yeah.
It's the actual entry. That's what I'm saying.
Because if it didn't have to penetrate, it was just inside. It didn't matter where it was.
Yeah.
he lost me, but whatever.
I think John's tracking with me. That's a 50%. We're batting 500 over here. That's good enough. I'm sorry, wellness. This is why you shouldn't let me do these.
Dude, I'm telling you, if he's stuck with us this long, I doubt that's going to be the
That's true. They've been in it for the long haul.
Let's be real. He hasn't listened in a year and a half.
Probably. He sent us like the prop samples and was like, "Here you go.
Yeah.
Don't fucking knock yourselves out."
He just forgot.
Yeah, every once in a while. Just checking up on us, making sure we're doing it right.
Well, sorry if this is that night.
Right? Like, fuck.
I want to order more of the pain patches.
Yeah. Those things were fucking great.
They're pretty fucking phenomenal.
Oh.
So, anyways, so I do have something that I wanted to bring up because I read this article and saw this video today for a new company that has started. And when I first read the article, I totally thought this was one of those like, oh, it's just a concept. It's like one of these startup tech companies that it's a concept. They're going to get a bunch of funding. No product's ever actually going to come out of them. But all these guys are going to walk away with a shit ton of money. So the company is called Spin Launch.
Okay.
Now, when I first heard the name Spin Launch, I thought it was totally going to be like some sort of like go-to-market software thing or whatever. Because that's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Like it's some sort of startup thing.
Yeah.
Nope. So this thing is a vacuum centrifuge that spins items up to 5,000 miles an hour and can launch a 20-ton satellite into space.
How do I get one?
So
Do you have to launch satellites?
I know.
You get the link to the Kickstarter.
that's what it's designed for. So literally,
It's going to build a sabo.
So what it is, it's this big fuck off thing, and it's an arm. You know those things that they put pilots in for the G-force testing thing?
Yeah.
And they just spin them. So take that, but then put what looks like a giant fucking sabo round in it.
Okay.
Spin that arm up to 5,000 miles an hour, and then it releases the magnets that are holding this thing, and it just goes out the chute and just yeets shit into space.
Okay. All right. I have some thoughts here because I'm kind of a ballistic guy.
Yeah.
Just because you can shoot a watermelon at say 5,000
Right.
feet per second
Yeah.
doesn't mean the watermelon's going to survive to impact
Right.
anything.
So
I'm like 20 tons to get to outer space for a satellite. I'm thinking it's just going to launch pieces.
Well, but it slowly builds it up to speed.
Doesn't matter. It's got to be a really aerodynamic satellite.
Well, so that's the thing is that what's that?
That's the sabo part.
That's the sabo part. It doesn't just launch like a block. Like it
like
looks.
a satellite. It doesn't launch a satellite.
So
No.
right.
so
That's what I'm saying.
the satellite is inside of like a fuselage that
Okay.
looks like a giant fucking sabo round. Like
Okay.
it's
It's like a suppository.
yeah. So this thing exits this thing.
You can launch a suppository right through somebody.
Yeah. So the first video.
And it's only a suppository if it hits one area.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's a bullet.
Exactly.
And you wouldn't even
That
know it if
depends,
you
because some
if you
people
hit it
are
with a
just
little
giant
wellness
assholes.
roll on. You wouldn't even know what happened.
yeah.
So there was a video that accompanied this thing. And it was this like hype video.
Yeah.
And I'm watching, I was like, oh, it's CG. So this has got to be one of these just conceptual, like,
Right.
here's the idea that we can just yeet things into space. Like, fuck a rocket. We can just fucking throw it really fast. We'll be fine. And I'm watching it and whatever. And then so it's this big hype trailer. And then it cuts to, and they called that the Ocean Launch Facility. But then it cuts to this like smaller version in the desert. And by smaller version, I mean like, it's like the size of a 4 or 5 story building
Okay.
and whatever. Like it's smaller as opposed to this facility that was like on the side of a fucking mountain, right?
Okay.
Not small, but smaller. And they're sitting there and they've got cameras inside this chamber where they're spinning it up and all this launch control and all this shit. And I was like, motherfucker, this thing's real? And they're sure as the world, they're spinning this thing up. And it gets up to the point it's spinning so fast that you can't see
Right.
like the motion anymore. And then you hear this flunk, and then this fucking tube, they just launch this fucking thing. And I was like, holy shit. And yeah, so apparently these guys, then they're showing all the people that are in charge of it or whatever. Then it's all these dudes with like pencil mustaches and long hair and shit. Like they look like they're going to tell you that Kanye sounds way better on vinyl than on the radio. Like those kind of people.
Really dizzy.
And I was like, so you guys just decided that fuck rockets and shit. We'll just
inertia.
We'll just toss it. Like we'll just, if we throw it hard enough, it's just going to leave the planet. And yeah, I mean, it was fucking bonkers. Like I didn't understand. I was like, you can't just yeet things into space. Like these guys were like, yeah, you can. If you get it fast enough, you totally just yeet it.
I want to see him do a baseball.
So, but I guess the concept is like, it's a fraction of the cost because the launch platform is you just reload it.
Right.
Like you just put the new item on there. And it's like 1/10 of the fuel because the only time that the rocket kicks in is like the last little like nudge to get it into orbit to actually like break gravity.
Yeah.
So like right at the end of the fucking, I threw it really hard. It just goes and like launches it up. And then the fucking, Sabo's the right round, right? And that when they first went to like rifled barrels and that it'd peel away. So that part just peels away and like burns up on its re-entry, and then you just have a satellite in space.
Huh.
Intriguing.
Well, if they can do that, I'm going to create a rifle that you can just hear me out. That you can just sit in and get shot into outer space, like just boom. Right? Why not? Just make the satellite instead of a Sabo, just rifle your barrel and it just.
Well, what I said after I saw it was, I was like, how long until some Red Bull athlete? It's like, I got this. And they're just going to stick him in a Sabo round and launch him into space. And then he's going to parachute back into Earth.
I wonder what the
I got a list of people that I would willingly put in that thing without a parachute.
I've got a list of people I'd put in that thing and wouldn't even aim at space.
Just up against the wall.
I'd just be like, I want to see if I can get you from here to Europe.
I don't even want to release it. I just want to spin them.
No, just from here to that building across the driveway. Like that's it. I'm going to get you there.
We're gonna repaint that wall right over there.
Man, it was bonkers. And this thing, like, in the essentially the end of the barrel. I don't even know how to describe this. I'll send you the video. It's fucking wild. But the top of it just had like a paper sheet over it. I guess to like keep just random shit from falling into this chamber.
No, it's like
so when they
football running onto the field, you got to run through the paper.
Yeah, so when they launched it, it just like broke through this little fucking paper barrier, and then I guess they just go replace that skin.
You got to add some confetti.
It's poof. It was nuts, and I was like, how high were you when you were just like, well, you know what the expensive part of going to space is the rocket. So what if we just got rid of the rocket?
I'm willing to bet that someone probably saw like a demonstration of a shepherd sling and went, you know, if I made that really, really big.
Yeah. And this whole thing apparently runs on vacuum.
Interesting.
Everybody buys stock in Dyson.
Yeah, this thing's wild. I'll send you the video, but I was like, and when it was I seriously thought it was fake until all of a sudden they cut to like the real people and like them actually launching shit. And I was like, all right. Yep. All right. Space by yeet, I guess is.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the world we live in now.
Yeah. Well,
could be curing cancer. Nope.
Just
figured out how to throw shit into space.
Big Pharma doesn't make money on cures.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out if Amazon's going to invest in this thing, and that's the new delivery.
Oh, if they could dial it in.
How fun would that be? How fun would that be instead of air travel? Like they have some sort of like, they have some sort of thing that just catches you on the other end.
Oh, no. Squirrel suit.
Oh, the big bouncy ball, like Bubble Boy.
Oh, yes.
Just as you're getting ready to land, and just this bubble just deploys.
Launch me into downtown. It'll be like a cool pinball machine.
Well, yeah, because then you don't need 5,000 miles an hour. Right. You can a couple of G's, you're fine. Yeah. You don't pass out to what, 5 G's or something like that?
Yeah,
6 G's?
4 or 5, something like that, depending on
I'm
the person.
A bitch. It's probably a little lower.
He's like, dude, G.5, I'm done. Like,
I sat up too fast. I stood up too fast the other day and fell over. Fuck. That had to be like 0.2 G's. I don't know.
well, 1 G is just gravity.
No, I was very hungover, so.
Oh, well, yeah. So, but yeah, saw that shit and was like, what the fuck? So you were listening to it. I read a little bit about it earlier. There's the Rittenhouse trial.
Yeah.
All the remarks are now done. It's gone to the jury.
Yeah. The closing remarks. So we'll see. We might know by the end of this podcast.
Did you guys see that the prosecuting attorney took the AR that was submitted for evidence, said that his assistant checked to make sure the rifle was unloaded, and then proceeded to point it at the entire jury with his finger on the trigger?
That sounds about right.
Oh, yes.
If Alec Baldwin was anywhere, he would have been proud as fuck. Oh, yeah, that part right there.
As he's arguing how the pointing of a weapon at somebody is a threat.
Yeah,
he's doing it himself.
And if you bring a gun, you no longer can claim self-defense.
Right.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you take a gun with you somewhere and something happens, you have to use your firearm or self-defense. You can't claim self-defense
because you
brought
provoked
the gun.
It.
You provoked
by bringing the firearm.
Yeah. Follow the logic behind that one.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right?
If you don't think about it at all, then it makes
you don't use
total
any
sense.
logic.
Well, the thing is, here's the situation. You're out. Let's see. You're walking from the range to your vehicle.
Yeah.
And you have a gun on you.
Yeah.
And you get attacked. So you have to kill them with a slingshot or something.
That makes sense.
Right.
Well, this would be like you get into a car accident, but you can't actually claim it against your insurance because you wouldn't have had a car accident
if you
weren't in your car.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the same
you had
thing.
no business being at Walmart at 2 a.m. We're not covering you.
Yeah. What were you doing there?
Yeah. It makes no sense.
I was filming a new episode of People of Walmart.
Well, yeah. Why were you there? Because that
Fucking love that
determines
website.
if we're going to, if it makes sense if you got in the accident or not. It's the why that you were there.
Yeah.
Well,
now,
not really.
That being said, why was he there? But I don't think it was. I don't think his intentions were to just randomly kill people.
Yeah.
But
I also,
as a 17-year-old,
but unless the why was I went there to murder people.
Exactly. Then
there really isn't like it doesn't really matter what the why is.
It doesn't affect his trial.
No, not the criminal aspect of things.
Right. But the why he was there affects his parents' ability to parent in a coherent manner.
I did hear today that
that was a lot of rinse.
His AR-15 was a straw purchase.
I heard that too.
I heard that.
But they tried to get him on being a minor in possession of a firearm.
And they dropped it.
Because you can be 17 and possess a rifle.
You just can't purchase it.
You just can't purchase it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they dropped that charge, but I guess they're pursuing the other dude who did the straw purchase.
Which, fine. I'm okay with
Go for it. Like that is illegal.
Yeah.
A straw purchase is illegal.
No, unless it would have been his mom or something like that.
But then it wouldn't be a straw purchase.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like we discussed it on the show a couple of weeks ago when
If Kyle
my
paid
father
for it
gifted me a shotgun.
Right. If Kyle paid for it and the other guy went in and bought it and gave it to him, that is by definition a straw purchase.
That is.
Yeah. And
100%.
that's 100% illegal. And when you go fill out all the paperwork, they ask you if you're buying the weapon for somebody else.
Yeah.
And you have to declare that you are not.
The first question on the 4473 literally is, are you the actual buyer or transferee of this firearm?
Yep.
When I owned the gun store, I was at a gun show and these two cops came up in uniform. Two cops came up and the one's like, I want this handgun or whatever rifle. I don't remember. I want this gun. And he starts filling out the paperwork and his cop buddy pulls out his wallet and hands me the money. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I owe him some money. I'm like, I can't sell you guys this gun now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why? Because it's a straw purchase. You can't pay for his gun.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It doesn't
Was
work.
it a cash transaction too?
Well,
or did he hand you like a bank card?
Either way.
Well, it doesn't matter. My point is like you could have just as easily before you walked in here been like, hey, I owe you $400. Here's $400.
There's this
now even the right guy supposedly was filling out the paperwork, but the other guy paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
And they're
You
like,
can't.
well, we're cops. And I'm like,
Yeah, then you should know.
Like,
That makes it worse.
that
Not
makes
better.
it makes it worse because you guys could be setting me up right now. Like, I'm duh. Like,
You
no.
guys should. Oh wait,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah.
But you should.
Yeah.
I'm like, I won't see either one of you in uniform tomorrow. No.
Yeah.
So anybody else actually listen to any of the trial?
I listened to a little bit of it.
Yeah.
After enough mispronunciations and just the sheer lack of education, honestly, on both sides of the legal teams, I just couldn't anymore. I was just like, whatever. I'll wait for the result.
You know,
I can't listen.
Listening to the closing arguments, if I wasn't a gun guy, if I wasn't of the mindset of like I should be able to protect myself with a firearm,
Yeah.
it would like they're making a case to an uneducated person. I think
Yeah.
like they're kind of making that case.
I'm still of the opinion that this is a two-way trial. This is not a murder trial.
Yeah.
They're going to try and set a precedent that can impact two-way. I think that's the goal. Because otherwise, why is there so much discussion about possession and who bought what and da-da-da-da-da? Like, if it's supposed to be a murder trial, why are we discussing how the fuck he got the murder weapon?
Because
Yeah.
it's really hard. Well, it's not a murder trial. They're
Well,
trying to get him
yeah.
for homicide.
No, it's a murder trial.
Yeah, they reduced the charges.
They
now
cl-
it's second degree.
They called him the prosecution called him a murderer the whole trial.
Yeah. But it's first degree homicide is the charge that they're going for.
Well, now it's second degree homicide.
Well,
The
first, second,
prosecution
or third,
dropped it.
depending on
What? But what's homicide?
when you kill someone.
And what's first degree homicide?
It has to do with the leading up to when you did it. But
Yeah.
murder is like you.
Premeditated.
Yeah. Like I'm going to go kill you.
It's an intent thing.
Homicide is I was in a situation and I killed somebody.
Okay.
Murder is the intent to do harm.
Yeah.
But what
Homicide is
I think the most interesting about this whole case is if they can prove self-defense, nothing else matters.
Right.
And the prosecutor is essentially trying to sidestep self-defense and discredit what's the definition of self-defense is
Yeah.
in order to get the jury to believe that self-defense shouldn't even play a part in this trial.
Yeah.
And that's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, he's prosecutor attorney, and it's a pretty hard case because everything points to some sort of self-defense.
he also
you know?
tried to point out that he was more guilty because he actually used his Miranda rights. When he was talking
That
about
fucking
like,
blew my mind.
yeah.
and the
That
judge
blew
was
my
like,
mind.
the judge was like,
lost his shit.
stop. Like, you are getting dangerously close to trying denying this man his constitutional rights.
Yeah.
And that ends right fucking now. And I was like, you get him, judge. You fucking. But yeah, essentially tried to say that he was more guilty because he remained silent. And I'm
right.
like,
Everybody does that.
so he was Mirandized
Well,
and he used his Miranda rights.
Wait, what-
And now he's a bad person for that? Like, I don't.
what could he have said at that moment to change anything anyway?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're under
Whatever you can
arrest.
say could be used against him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
It's funny. Yeah. I guess we'll see. Who knows? Like, so what everybody's guess is on how long they're going to deliberate for.
I've seen every.
I've
seen
a
a
half to 1 hour.
Oh, you're saying fast as fuck, right?
I'm saying I'm saying fast as fuck.
Yeah.
I think that jury is going to be like, it was clearly self-defense, and they're going to fucking.
I think it's either going to be immediate, like it's going to be immediate, and he's going to be not guilty, or it's going to take like a day or two, and he's going to have like some minor charges than what they were trying to go after.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is because when they read the rules on how they find him guilty or not guilty, it was confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, even the judge was like, "Wait,
Yeah.
these aren't this. This could be better." I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and then they had to drop some.
Yep.
Well, it was like intentional recklessness, and they were like, "You can't be intentionally reckless." Like that's like
I suppose you could be.
Can you be accidentally reckless?
Yeah, I suppose you could be.
yeah, like it was some weird thing or whatever. So now it's second-degree homicide and
Intentionally reckless. I jumped out of an airplane without a parachute.
Okay, accidentally reckless. I threw
I-
you out of the parachute, out of the airplane.
I drunkenly looked outside and fell out of said airplane without a parachute. I don't know.
yeah, some of their definitions were just goofy. It was just what the fuck. So, I also look at this though, and you have to look at where you can end up where a not guilty verdict has to be delivered, and that's if just one motherfucker just goes like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like you have to get all 12. So if just one dude goes like, this was self-defense, and there's no way I'm
I
fucking
don't
convicting this
understand
guy.
why they have 20 jurors that listen to the whole thing, and now they're going to get rid of some down to 12. Like, when has that ever been a thing?
Because those are the alternates. The extra 8 are the alternates, and the alternates have to be fully read into the trial in case one of the primary jurors has to leave, either family emergency, medical emergency, something along those lines.
Or
Usually-
during the
alternate-
trial, they will
yeah.
also continue to vet the jurors. And if any
Yeah.
point in time they find
Well,
one of
that's
the
what I
jurors
mean.
has a connection,
Yeah.
they can remove one.
Usually
Yeah.
it's
Replace
not
them.
publicized that they're going to reduce. Usually they're not
Yeah.
like, oh, and today 8 of you are going home.
Well,
you know,
a jury is 12, so they don't have to publicize it for it to be common sense when there's 20 sitting there and there's
Yeah.
a
Well, there's
jury's
always
12.
alternates.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just they don't have to publicize it. They removed one and replaced it with an alternate.
I guess I didn't realize.
Now, if
an
you're paying
alternate sat
attention,
in
you
the
see
whole time.
20 and all of a sudden
Yeah.
there's 18. You can
Yeah.
kind of go like, oh,
What's it?
I guess they went to the. guess
Steve
they-
was a racist.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I guess they went to the. I guess they went to the bullpen on this one and.
I'm glad he shot all 3 of them crackers.
Yeah.
Goddamn, Steve.
Looks like for a while it was interesting. They kept talking about how the 17-year-old had possession of an AR, but nobody was discussing how the felon had a handgun.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like, that's in all 50 states.
Yeah.
Well, the,
Yes.
the felon wasn't
Illegal.
on trial.
Yeah.
right.
No, he was an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
But he did testify.
Yo, God, that was
truthfully, which
great.
was
Yes.
surprising.
Yeah.
Wait, so you mean you didn't get shot until you pointed your gun at him and then advanced on him?
That is
Yes.
correct.
And then, but then I heard the lawyer today in closing argument saying that he didn't point the gun at him. Motherfucker said he did.
Yeah.
Like,
If I was defense in that one, I'd been like, excuse me, can we read back Mr.
Yeah.
Gage's testimony where he admitted to pointing a firearm?
Well, it doesn't matter because at this point the jurors are going to hear all that and just be like,
I do like
Oh, yeah.
the fact that the prosecutors had their closing arguments. The whole time the defense didn't say a word. They just sat there,
Yeah.
let him do his thing, whatever. There's some spots where he probably should have said something
Yeah.
or objected or whatever, but just let it go. And then the defense gets up and not even a minute and a half into it, the prosecution's like, objection, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And the judge is like, sit down.
yeah.
yeah. Well, like they were arguing using full metal jackets were a bad thing, right? Which, whatever. All I would have said if I was the defense attorney is if he used any other bullet, like a hollow point, you would
Yeah,
argue
yeah.
how bad hollow points were.
Yeah.
Like there would be no winning in the.
The outcome was the same.
Yeah. The outcome's the same.
But if you notice in a lot of the dialogue that they were using, so a lot of us will just blow that off, right? Like, because we understand that FMJ is just a fucking round.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
But to the, whatever you want to call it, uneducated, uninitiated, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, the term full metal jacket just sounds fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
But like, it's
That's-
not, it's just a fucking round, but
I mean, if I was the defense, though, I would have been like, it's a
yeah, that's just a standard bullet.
It's a bullet with a jacket that's fully encased the
Yeah.
lead. Like, I mean,
But
I don't know.
But the pop culture education on Full Metal Jacket
Yeah.
is just a fucking movie.
Yeah.
So that's just going to make it sound like this is a weapon of war. And it's like, well, no,
Like
it's
he
just
open fired with an automatic weapon. That was one of my favorite lines.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was early in the trial.
I like how Rittenhouse actually corrected his attorney when his attorney, I brought it up last week too, and his attorney said like, well, and at this point you dumped the mag. And he was like, no.
Yeah.
No, I did not. Like, I released the magazine from the weapon,
Yeah.
cleared the chamber and made it safe. And it was like, yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah.
So, but the dialogue on that stuff, it was all intentionally picked to make it sound as aggressive as humanly possible.
Like a couple times the prosecution was calling it the gun or the firearm. I think he was calling it the gun. And then he like caught himself in like the AR-15. Like he had to no, the AR-15 because it's so much worse than the gun. Like that is,
The black ones are scary.
yeah.
Racist.
They're not as scary if they're like FDE.
You know what's scarier than a black one? Is a pink gun.
You don't want to fuck with that dude.
No,
Yeah, no.
because that and if you actually live through it, it's going to be way worse saying you were shot with a pink gun.
Yeah, I don't know. Some dude showed up with a Tiffany blue AR.
Yeah.
Fucking
What the hell was that one that we did for Stu? It was like
I don't remember.
it was this weird like
Oh, it's flesh color.
yeah, it was like a weird flesh blend color. It was like baby dick tan or some shit like that.
He wanted us to match his skin tone. So if his shirt came up and flagged his firearm, it wouldn't stand
just
out.
look like skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made
Yeah.
sense. But
Yeah.
this dude
so gross.
was like, he was a mix between a ginger and Casper with a
Oh.
hint of like, I don't know. It was a fucked up color. It's really
It was-
hard to actually do it.
he was the epitome of Midwestern. Like he was Mexican from the end of the sleeves down.
Oh.
And like you pick his shirt up and it was just
clear.
iridescent.
Yeah.
He's fucking
Did you
Edward
put like
Cullen.
moles and shit on it too? Because that'd have been hilarious. Like if it actually just looks like
Some random hair.
What color do you call that tortilla?
shit. Now I want a handgun that just looks like a tortilla. That'd be amazing. I'd call it my Glocko.
Yeah, the guacamole.
It's just this weird green color with tomatoes and shit.
Oh, good stuff.
Well, see, that's when you want one that looks like a tortilla, but the magazines all look like guacamole.
Right.
So you can just,
Yeah.
this is my Glocko.
Yeah. Yeah. I appendix carry a spare taco.
Yep. Then you could put it in your taco holster and it'd be great.
God, kind of still. These are times I
know.
wish I still did Cerakote.
Oh my god.
John would go like, all right, bring me your handgun.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, bring it in.
fucking
Like,
tacos. I've had guacamoles all over the place.
Nobody wants to do that. Everything's got to have fucking Punisher skulls and shit on it.
Oh man. I think I might still have the picture. I have the Punisher flowchart. It's like, are you a highly trained killer? Yes. Did your family get murdered by drug dealers? Yes. Are you out for nothing but revenge? Yes. Fine. Put a fucking Punisher skull on it.
Yeah.
And everything else that says no, it's like, don't put a goddamn Punisher skull on it.
I actually talked to a attorney that does a lot of the whole like self-defense shit if you had to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
And the number one piece of advice he gives to gun owners
Call
is like
911, ask for an ambulance.
that too. But he flat out said, he was like, don't put any of that Born to Kill and Punisher skulls and all that shit on your weapon because they are going to confiscate that thing.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna flat out be like, he obviously built this thing for the intent to do harm.
Yeah.
Well, the young cop in Las Vegas, they shot the guy in the hallway.
Yeah.
Because he had a dust cover with some fucking saying on it or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on the inside.
Yeah.
So when it opened up, it revealed the saying.
Yeah. And I remember they were trying to hit him with that.
Yeah. It's goofy. And it shouldn't be a thing. Like it should just be that you want to do whatever.
Yeah.
I think all of our Cerakote's pretty non.
Your
It's
stuff
just-
is either color
Yeah.
or it's camouflage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's it.
One's got a Warfighter logo.
Well,
None of
and
them
even
have like sayings.
even all of the shit that I did, I think the wildest one I ever did was I did a couple of Deadpool guns, but that was just like maximum effort and chimichanga,
Yeah.
just the standard Deadpool shit.
But no Glockos.
No Glockos.
What the lawyer in Nebraska get done to a suppressor?
Oh, you got the pendulum, the fucking weight
Oh,
thing
yeah.
on one side.
Oh, the scales of
The
justice.
scales of
Just-
justice.
yeah, and then you got his name on the other, I think, or something.
His
like
law.
that. The law office.
name,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was like a burnt bronze battle worn. It came out really nice.
A battle worn from sitting in his gun case.
Yeah.
Probably.
I remember we had one customer that came in. He's like, "I want to look like I just threw this down the driveway." Okay, I can do that.
Hold on. Take me 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You just need to tie it behind my truck, and we'll go for a mile per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It was
Look at that. That looks real as fuck. What a wild and crazy world we live in.
Oh man,
Get another episode of Yellowstone tonight. Looking
I
forward
fucking
to it.
can't wait.
I burned through the
wait.
first 2 episodes the other day.
Yeah, buddy.
I need to start watching it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
You just start from the beginning.
Yep.
It's good.
Could it's on what? Peacock or Paramount or something?
It's on Paramount, and you can buy it on Amazon too.
Yeah.
On Peacock, it's like $5 a month.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Peacock.
Yeah, I was telling a couple of these guys. Figured out that my wife had never seen Band of Brothers.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far in are you?
We watched like 3 episodes of it yesterday.
Oh, you didn't get to the good stuff yet.
No. So like, yeah, she's made it to where like
How many episodes? Like 12?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's
it's
10 or 12.
she's made it up to where Lieutenant Winters and the platoon go and take out the guns when he earns his Distinguished Service Cross 2 days into the war because
Yeah, as you do.
that dude's a fucking bamf. Like, so I told her we'll watch that. When we're done with that, we'll watch the Pacific.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
The
burned-
Pacific, the storyline of the Pacific isn't as good as the storyline of Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
No, because the
yeah.
Pacific, the whole thing with the Pacific is just like,
It was just a brawl.
this is why it's called the suck. Because, and if that whole joke about the Marines get shit like 2 or 3 generations
Yeah.
older than what everybody else gets, you get to see that in action too. Because, like, same era, same war, completely different weapon systems.
Well, they were what? They were on the 1903 yet.
Yeah, I
right?
think they were still running the 03.
and even their
A3s.
machine gun was the older version, and like they also like didn't have food.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh, it's because they were on an island.
Yeah. That was
they were
pretty
on
much
an
cut
island,
off.
and then the Navy just left.
Yeah.
They were like,
That's really what it came down to. It wasn't like, yeah.
it's hard to get resupplied.
They probably
when
didn't have much food in the Europe theater also, but there was
like, towns.
Yeah,
You could-
they could go
yeah.
find it from
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like when you're on an island that's not inhabited and you're just fighting over a piece of dirt just to fight, there's no food.
Well, especially when your enemy also doesn't have food.
No, they got pockets of uncooked rice that are red by the time you get to them.
And when the
I
fleet
like
that's
red
supposed to
rice.
be supporting you goes like, deuces.
Scott, that's red beans in rice.
Whatever.
Key ingredient there.
Speaking of that,
yeah.
I had some of the most amazing red beans and rice in my life in Oxford, Mississippi this past weekend.
Well, you think?
And it was made by the nicest, sweetest old lady at the tailgating at the Grove. And I have no idea who she was. Still don't even know her name. Never got it. And she just kept trying to force feed me for the half an hour that I was standing over there. And I was like, ma'am, I'm okay. And then they opened up red beans and rice, and I was like, I'll try some of that.
Was it like it's been cooking for 3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
Yeah. That's when it's
Yeah.
right.
God, it was, yeah.
Some of the best food I ever had was actually right after Katrina.
Yeah.
So right after Katrina happened, and we essentially got all those refugees that came to San Antonio, I went on and volunteered because they had them all out at. Then it was Kelly, USA. Now it's Port San Antonio, whatever the fuck we call that thing now. It used to be Kelly Air Force Base, and then it
yeah.
became Kelly, USA, and then it became whatever. Anyways, it was all empty, so they housed them all out there. And these people showed up with like a outfit, but they all brought like their cook pots and like
Yeah.
freaking burners and everything. Like that's what they
Priorities.
evacuated with was like
Priorities.
in outfit and their cooking utensils.
Yeah.
And you'd go out there and they had taken over these parking lots, and it was just gumbo and a shafalaya and shrimp boils and stuff like as far as the eye could see. And you just, oh my God, it was.
We stopped at a pretty authentic Cajun restaurant too.
Yeah, we did. That was good.
Yeah.
It was really good. I need to do shrimp boil. I haven't done one of those in forever.
You have one of those huge fucking pots,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lobster pot.
giant fucking with those huge jet
I
burners.
honestly,
Hey,
I think,
you can-
I
you
think
can-
it's older than me.
You can
'Cause I
put
stole
it.
it from my mom. And I don't know how long my fucking mom has it, but it's got a couple dents in it, and those things are hard to dent.
You can put it on your new solo stove that showed up the other day.
Oh, I can't control the heat on that though.
Ah,
But yeah, picked up a Solo Stove. I don't know if you guys ever heard of one of those. Shameless plug. So Solo Stove is essentially a fire pit for your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get it going, there's no smoke. So it's like a reburn feature. And you get these cool little jets of fire that come in from these holes all around the top of the fire pit. And it's fucking nice. The bottom of it's like 90 degrees. The top of it's like 1,000 degrees because it's fire, you know. But so you can set it on like a wood deck and it won't burn a hole through it.
Or like blacken your concrete or whatever. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah. The ones that they all had were those, you know, it's a propane tank with a hose that's just connected to like a cage. And it's just that burner. And you can kind of sort of change the flame height. And that's it.
This one, yeah. The Solo Stove is wood burning. That's why I said I can't control the heat on it. It's hot. But now I can get rid of all the pallets that we have here outside of Warfighter.
Nice.
And then once it's done, you just dump, like there's barely any ashes left.
Because it burns hot enough to, yeah.
And so everything like the nails and shit from pallets, you just fucking dump in the trash and get your next fire going. So that'll be pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I almost bought a fire pit the other day for my patio.
Tell me that Solo Stove, man. Or come over and see mine first and then do it.
No.
It's cheaper than like when you see like the fire pits at HEB or Cabela's or wherever the fuck, and they're like $4.99 for this.
Oh, the one I was going to buy was like $89 out of Academy.
Oh, okay.
No, it was $99 out of it, and you can cook on it.
Yeah. Is that the little grill that swings over?
Yeah, the big pivoting grill. You swing over the top of it, and then it had like the apron around the outside of it. So, or you can just run it as a fire pit because it runs on fire.
Yeah.
Like it's
No shit.
well, there's
People have been cooking with that fire stuff for a long time.
There's no jets or anything. Like it's just like you just throw fucking wood in it and it just burns.
It runs on fire.
It just runs on fire. All fire. So
yeah, let him get it out of the box and get it set up first.
Yeah,
and then come check it out.
Yeah. So I almost got one. It was cheap, but I only started thinking about it because I was telling Scott I started putting Christmas up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a process.
About that time.
Yes.
It's a process. So, but we'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll be done. So,
what else is going on?
Well, I just got a text from the production team stating that Alex Jones has been court ordered to pay damages to Sandy Hook victims for defamation.
He got found guilty on that. Defamation. Wow. He was trying to say that it was a hoax and that none of it happened. I love the fact that there's people in the comments that are like of the like news articles that are trying to defend the fact that he said it was a hoax. Like, well, if you look at the videos, you just see people walking in circles for hours, after it happened. Okay.
What does that have to do with the dead people?
Yeah. Like
live people walk around. I don't know if anybody told you this. And traditionally in huge shooting incidents or major crimes like that, they don't let people leave.
Yeah.
Because they're going to get witness statements from
it's weird.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
We dodged a bullet, boys.
Yeah. No. Kind of glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, we had an opportunity to have a conversation with one Alex Jones.
And I'm glad we didn't do it because I'm too stupid to talk to Alex Jones.
I wouldn't say I'm too stupid.
In all fairness,
but I definitely wouldn't have a conversation on his level.
No, definitely not.
Well, in all fairness, if you've ever watched anybody have an interview with Alex Jones, you don't actually talk to Alex Jones.
That's true.
You just kind of sit there and go,
"Oh,
what?
Oh,
yeah,
oh."
How about this fake thing that never happened?
Yeah. Oh. Then you just throw a word out. You just be like snorkel when he's like, "Let me tell you about," and it's like. It has to do with the frog people. They're coming out of the cracks in the ocean.
I don't know. I'm kind of retarded. Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of needs to be in there. Like that's a.
Oh, he said he was a little.
Because
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Because Harry Carey's
Oh,
starting to make more
fuck.
sense than you.
On our drive, we listened to the Joe Rogan Snoop Dogg
that was
episode,
great.
and they were both
All 4 hours of it.
were both very high at the end of that.
God, through the whole thing. There were times where I look at Scott, like I was driving, I look over at Scott, and I'm like, he is so fucking high right now.
I'm gonna have to listen to that one because one of two things happens when you listen to a conversation with high people: is you're either listening and you're like, I bet you that conversation is really interesting.
It was really interesting.
If you're not on this planet like they are.
No.
And then there's other times
was
where you
good.
can actually just listen from the outside
if
and
you
you're
don't,
just like,
if you
wow.
don't smoke weed and know what it's like to be high, or know what it's like to recognize somebody else that's extremely smart, but high,
Yeah.
you won't even notice.
Okay.
But there's certain little tiny things like the ass end of a sentence where you're like, oh, he's so stoned right now.
Yeah.
But if you were just listening, like you'd be like, okay, like it would be a normal conversation.
Well, that's like when he had Elon Musk on.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk had never touched anything and then smoked with him. And that dude is so beyond fucking brilliant that even stoned, he's like,
I don't think he was stoned.
or high, whatever the
I mean,
fuck you
I
want
don't-
to call it.
I don't know.
I don't think you'd be able to tell with him.
I think he smoked a little.
Rogan and Snoop, I think they smoked 6 blunts, not even joints, blunts.
Yeah.
Also, Snoop was warming up.
Pretty much. And if you would like the whole time, Snoop is the same way the whole throughout the whole episode. You can see Joe
Well, the
riding
fact
those
of the matter
fucking waves.
is that nobody has heard sober Snoop talk in like 30 years.
I was just gonna say,
I don't
like,
think ever.
I
My
think the
question
only
was-
person that could have potentially smoked more weed than Snoop would be Willie.
And you know, Snoop actually admitted that he can't keep up with Willie Nelson. He tried to go smoke with Willie
Oh,
one
God,
time,
yes.
and Willie
I remember
apparently
that interview.
smoked him under the table
Yes.
and was like, "You can't smoke with that man." Like,
So there's a song that says, "I'll never smoke weed with Willie again."
Yeah.
My question about Snoop is he travels to a lot of places where weed is not legal. And he's not there for a very long time. But he always has weed.
he's got his own plane.
Oh, he's got people.
You know, like in
You
every
seriously
state,
think, you
in
think,
every city.
You think
Here,
Snoop can't get weed?
I need
Like,
you. I need you to keister this for me, bus manager or whatever. You know, like
fucking 5 will get you 10 that cops show up and be like, "We pulled this out of evidence. Like, you want this shit?" Like,
What was he? He was telling a story. What fucking country was he
the
in?
Netherlands, maybe
No, because it's legal in the Netherlands. Norway.
Norway. Yeah.
He was in Norway, and I guess they got pulled over or something. And he ended up having to do a drug test because they have zero tolerance, even
Right.
if it's in your system. And so they did the drug test. They let him go. And so like 6 months later, he goes there for another concert. And they pull him over, and they're like, "Yeah, you popped at a drug test like 6 months ago. We need you to come to the station." And then his bodyguard pushed a dude, and they went to arrest him, but they couldn't fit the bodyguard in the vehicle. So they're like, "You have to drive yourself to the police station, and we'll follow you." And they were like, "Okay, like,
Sure.
we'll see how this." Yeah, it was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
my favorite thing with Snoop right now is that fucking ad campaign that's running around for those Bic lighters that have that like little nozzle on the front of it, and it's Martha Stewart
Yeah.
on the front of it, and you like pull the trigger. It's like those old grill lighters that we all
But
had,
they're
except
only
for it's like
an
this
inch and a
big,
half,
right?
Yeah.
And it's Martha. It's like great for lighting candles, and it's Snoop behind her that just goes and other things. Like, that's what it says, and it's just like that's an amazing ad campaign.
Yeah.
They were so high. Joe Rogan's like, "Man, they should sell these like
Blunt wraps.
the blunt wraps, but like the swishers when they have tobacco in them.
Yeah.
They're like, they should sell these things so people can roll this." And Snoop's like, "Yeah, they do, man. Like they do. They've been doing it for a long time."
I like how Snoop's essentially looking at Joe, going like, "All right, rookie, like fucking sit down. Let me teach you how this is done." Because Snoop's got his own line of cannabis.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he has his own line of blunt wraps called Blunt Wraps.
Yeah.
But he's got his own like, it's in a little plastic tube and
Yeah.
ready to go. Snoop doesn't have time to roll. Yeah, fucking gotta smoke now. I'm a busy man.
So boys, there's a local news article I wanted to read y'all in on. Y'all know CBC, the giant church that's off like 1604?
Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently there was videos going around over the weekend of a giant gathering there. Whole thing is filled, and everybody's chanting "Let's go, Brandon," and sent everybody off. Turns out that it was just a giant QAnon meeting that decided to meet in a church, and had the My Pillow guy, Roger Stone, and I've never heard of this.
Was it CBC or was it Cornerstone?
I don't know, maybe it was Cornerstone.
Because I drove by Cornerstone over the weekend, and there was like a big tent out there, and like the parking lot was
Cornerstone.
packed on a Saturday, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yes,
I'm used to that church being full on Sundays, but
Yeah.
because it's massive.
Yeah, it's a huge church, but apparently there was like a QAnon meeting, and there was someone there, and I've never heard of this reference, but demonic sperm doctor. Have y'all ever heard that reference?
No.
Oh,
No, but
say
I just
that I
found
have.
I just found my new online handle.
I think it's already taken.
That's amazing. Demonic sperm doctor.
Huh.
What? You know what? That's going to lead a whole thing of questions that I don't know I really want answers to.
No, that's right. I did. No. So I went on an elk hunt.
How was Colorado, buddy?
I was like, I'm trying to think of the right time to bring that up. I
How
think
was
this is the right
Colorado?
time. Colorado's cold. Didn't get any elk. Walked a lot. Yeah.
Drew a dick in the snow.
Drew dick in the snow.
Yeah, I said because you came back with nothing that you stopped calling it hunt and say that you went on a nature hike in Colorado.
Yeah, it was a walk. It was a long walk. It was a long walk.
I found myself in Colorado.
It was fun. I saw elk. I just didn't see the ones I was allowed to shoot. It's like they knew. It's weird. No, there's a whole bunch of reasons. After talking to some outfitters and locals that were up there, and I guess rut didn't start yet because of global warming. The first big snowfall triggers rut, and no big snowfall happened yet, so rut didn't start. Yeah, it was weird. So how the elk normally move during and after rut wasn't happening, and before rut they walk in different herds and travel different places. And
I
just do
believe
whatever
that.
the fuck they want.
I'm just interested that they're saying it's global warming.
No, that was a joke that I made.
Oh, I'm like,
but yeah, it was like there was mornings where it's cold as fuck.
what elevation were you at?
Anywhere between 9,000 and 11,500.
You were up there.
No.
That's enough to get your attention.
Oh, it was I got some videos. It was pretty funny. The first couple of days we're climbing up 10,000, 10,500, getting the peaks of these mountains so we can glass. And I was just fucking dying. And it's not because I'm like out of shape.
There's no air.
Like it's not because my muscles burned or my legs were tired. I just couldn't get enough oxygen in my
because there
body.
is no oxygen. Like
We woke up one morning and one of the dudes has a watch that tracks like his O2 levels, and it was at 90. Yeah, his O2 level just from sleeping was at 90. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good at all.
I spent a week at Crested Butte, and we were at the only like ski in ski out resort there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like down in the city of Crested Butte. It was actually up on the mountaintop.
Yeah.
So you're sleeping at like 9,800 feet.
Yeah.
And then I was there snowboarding, but you're anywhere from, 9,800 to like 12.
Yep.
And I was good until because I was like pounding water, the whole, like everything you're supposed to do. And then by like day 3, I was like, I think I'm used to it. So I stopped and all that kind of, holy shit. When altitude sickness rolls on because you like forget to, it's like, I don't need to drink water anymore.
Yeah, you do.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that rolled on hard.
Yeah, and luckily no one got altitude sickness. I rolled my ankle on like day 2 and it's still fucked up. But other than that, like a couple blisters, no major injuries, no issues with
It's
anyone
not a
that was
flip
out
flop
there.
trip, man.
No, I had good boots too. It was just like really rugged terrain.
It's crazy that the Rocky Mountains are so rocky.
Yeah, and they're mountains. It's weird.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
Well, was it
think.
at least like pretty?
it was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were in the mountains from before sunup to after sunset every day. Like other than that, I was sleeping in a tent. We were cooking on open fire, propane grills. Like,
Yeah, it was around on fire.
yeah. It was nice. A couple mornings we woke up, it was like 9 degrees. That sucked a lot. It was cold.
See, that's a hard pass.
Yeah. It was fucking cold.
9 degrees?
Yeah.
Nope.
It was cold.
Hard pass.
Once you start fucking walking up those mountains,
Yeah, you don't care anymore.
nope, it's warm as shit.
It's like when I was at Crested Butte and I was there and I was like, I really don't feel cold. Like I had all my shit on. I started sweating and stuff. I was like, really? And somebody looked at the snow keeps it warm. I was like,
The frozen
I'm not even going to ask you how that makes sense. So, like, I'm just going to go with,
Okay.
okay, mountain dude. Like, like
the frozen water on the ground keeps things warm.
the snow
The snow keeps it warm.
keeps it warm.
There were a couple nights where it was overcast and it was nice because in the mornings it was like 25 because the clouds hold the heat in.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was cold in the mornings. The afternoons were decent. But as soon as that sun goes down, it'll go from like 50 degrees and the sun fucking goes behind the mountain and it drops 20 degrees like instant. Yeah. Like, fuck. Like, fucking, that sun does a lot.
A giant ball of fire is apparently a little warm. It runs on fire too.
It does. It's weird.
Actually runs on fission.
I was just gonna say, I think that was fission, but
Yeah. Fission is just fancy fire.
yeah. That's scientific fire.
Yeah, it's fire with an explanation.
Fire. It's like, wham. But yeah, it was a good trip. I learned a lot. I learned that I'll never do an over-the-counter hunt ever again. I'll put in for draw units and all that stuff because I saw there's a couple days during like midweek where we didn't see many people, but like opening weekend, that first morning, like we went out and I'm like, okay, like we saw like 3 other people and we're hunting in like 680,000 square acres. Like it was a massive fucking unit.
It's a chunk of space.
And we saw 3 people in the course of getting 20 miles back into this area that we were going to. And I was like, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Like, okay, I can deal with that. That next day, I fucking saw like 35 people. Mikey's calling. Hi, Mikey.
Hi, buddy.
You're on the show. What are you doing?
That's why I called. I just called to say hi to everybody real quick.
Nice. Where are you at?
I'm in Jacksonville, North Carolina, just outside of Camp Lejeune.
What are you doing?
I have some events out here.
He's staring at
and,
absolutely nothing.
It's still terrible here.
Jacksonville,
It's still
North
really
Carolina has fuck all in it.
Yeah.
You are fucking 1,000%.
There is nothing.
Correct,
There's a humidor there. There's a cigar shop there. But other than that,
is there?
there is fuck all
Actually,
in Jacksonville,
I think
North
there's a dude
Carolina.
on base that sells cigars, and he has our cigars.
Yeah, he does. It's actually my buddy Mike who owns that shop.
No shit.
Yes.
Thanks for the hookup, bud.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's fuck all in Jacksonville.
But I knew you guys were balls deep in the show, so I wanted to call and just say hi to everybody. Sorry that I'm missing it. And I'm going to actually miss next week, I think, too. Maybe. I don't know yet. I didn't check my flight. I think I fly back that Monday, but yeah.
Well, that Monday show is going to be weird. That's Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
it?
I'm going to be gone too.
You'll be
so-
gone. Mikey might be back.
I'm gonna
I'll
be-
be here because I'm not doing fuck all
I'll
for
be in a
Thanksgiving.
food coma.
Well, that's not till the next Thursday.
Yeah.
I will still be in a food coma.
Nice.
As you should be, sir.
Yeah.
So, but enjoy the show, fellas. I'm sure it's fucking mediocre as always. And I just want to call and say hello.
Yeah, just about to start talking about your dick.
Have you enjoyed my plethora of dicks?
Yeah,
Your Snapchat dicks? Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. They're solid.
yeah.
Did you have? I mean, you've probably been on the show, but I actually just sent you guys all a Snapchat a few minutes ago.
Oh, didn't even see it.
I found a Softy store that has every color of Silkies in it here in Jacksonville, and it might be the only reason to ever come to Jacksonville.
Do they have a website?
I mean, they do, but you don't get a discount on the website. Fuck that.
Yeah, but I don't have to go to Jacksonville.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's Apple, here nor there, man.
Because I'm pretty sure the discount isn't good enough to cover a plane ticket and going to Jacksonville.
It's just going to Jacksonville. That's the
Yeah, again, fuck the plane ticket, just having to go to Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking terrible. You're right.
Yes.
It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty rough. But have a good show, boys, and I'll see you guys next week sometime.
sounds good, brother.
All right,
Be
buddy.
safe.
All right, fellas.
Talk to you later.
Later.
So Mikey's dick.
This is going to be a short conversation.
It will. So Mikey sends me Snapchats, and it's usually after he gets out of the shower. and the mirror's all fogged up, and he draws a dick on the mirror with his finger. You know, like just a regular dick. So in recent times, the first time he sent me that was when I was in Colorado hunting, and it was like the second day, and we're on our way up to this like almost 11,000 foot peak. We're on the north side of the mountain, and we're like a little snow on the ground, and I didn't get cell phone reception until I was above 10,000 feet anywhere we were at. And so I get above 10,000 feet, my phone would fucking blow up. And so this is one of those times where I got above 10,000 feet, and the first notification was Snapchat from Mikey. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll take a look at this. So I open it up, and it's Mikey getting out of the shower, drawing a dick on the fogged up mirror. And so I'm like, how do I respond to this? Because you usually respond with drawing one back for him. So I didn't really know exactly how to do this until we walked around this tree, and there's a fresh patch of beautiful snow sitting on the ground. And so I tell the guys, I'm like, hold on. And you get a whisper because we're trying to hunt. And so I start the Snapchat, and I video all around. We're in the middle of the woods and all the guys, stuff like that. And I take my glove off, and I go down to the snow, and I draw a dick in the snow, and I send it to Mikey. And the guys are just like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, yeah. So
you know what? I would explain, but
You guys don't know how to hunt.
it just, yeah.
You've
You've obviously never
that's
been
how you
elk
call in
hunting.
the elk.
I don't know if you knew this, but elk are attracted to giant dicks.
But yeah, so that's the first time. And then he sent me another one. Scott and I were driving, so I couldn't draw one back. So I just literally sent him a Snapchat of my crotch. He sent me a couple other ones. I can't remember. They're pretty fun.
He's got his whole technique down and everything.
He does. It's pretty good.
So like draw the dick and then take his fingers and go on the end.
Yep.
So he gets like the whole spray just all in one drawing.
Then you try to peek in the clear spots to see if you can catch a glimpse of him.
That's what I keep hoping for.
Or is that just me?
No, it's
Okay.
yeah. I keep replaying it. I'm trying to.
Actually, I got a dick drawn on my windshield while we were hunting one day on my truck. And come to find out, it's my buddy Eric that was up there hunting with us. So the next day we got back before he did. And so I drew one on his mirror, which is great because I don't know if I had oils on my hands or if I chapstick or fucking whatever the fuck. But he went into town the next day and squeegeed it with like the squeegee from the gas station. And it didn't go.
It just beat it off.
It didn't
the
go
deck.
away.
Yeah.
And all the roads we were on were dirt roads, so it would just like beat up dirt everywhere, and you'd have this perfect outline of a dick on the side view mirror, driver's side mirror. It was fun. But yeah,
Nice.
I would absolutely recommend elk hunting.
It's a beautiful walk in the mountains.
It is a very difficult hunt. Elk are very smart, and it's challenging, and the terrain sucks, and there's a lot of.
Yeah, I
miles
wish I'd
you
taken
put
that
in.
offer from Montana. I got offered an elk hunt in Big Sky.
That was the weirdest thing. I saw Montana license plates, like of people that were out hunting in Colorado. Why the fuck would you come to Colorado to hunt elk
Change
if
of
you live in
scenery, I
Montana?
guess.
Like it blows my mind.
Well, like Big Sky's pretty flat.
That means it's easy to find the elk.
Well, sure, but maybe it's just
that guy's 6 miles away. I'm gonna go start my walk.
But I guess it's just a change in scenery.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I was hoping you bagged something because usually I end up with meat when you kill someone.
Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
funny.
I was like, dude, I hope he comes back with something because
By the end of the week, Madison's like, there better be a damn good reason why you came home empty-handed. She was like, because this is the first time you've ever been on a hunt and didn't get anything.
Well, did you explain to her that this was an actual hunt, not cheating like we do in Texas?
Well, I
yeah,
told her-
Texas just
I was
cheat
like,
hunts.
I was like, elk's a little bit different.
We were talking about that when you came over to the house. That
Yeah.
hunting in Texas is more just like a really fresh grocery store.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just it's not really a hunt so much as it's like running low on bacon. I'll go sit right here
But
real
yes
quick.
and no. So I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. So it's like when I took Madison out
Not
shooting.
you.
No, it's like when I took Madison out shooting, and she's like, I got her on steel at 690, and she's like, this is easy. I'm like, the only
yeah.
reason it's easy is because somebody else put in all the time, effort, and work to get it to the point where it was easy.
Yeah, so the guy that set it up everything for you to have an easy hunt, he's got effort.
That's what I'm saying.
But the problem is that none of us are the people that do that. All of us are the people that are like, I just show up and sit in your blind because you've set all this up, and then I just go punk, and then I
It's the
walk away
same
with
thing.
meat.
It's the same thing as saying long range shooting is easy because somebody else did all the work.
Yeah, but that's why I said it's like a really fresh grocery store.
Yeah.
Because somebody did all the meat to raise that steak that I go buy out of the grocery store.
Yeah, that's true.
But it doesn't make getting steak easy.
Yeah.
It just means that I don't have to do any of the effort.
Right.
I'd shoot a cow.
I'd 100% shoot a cow. You kidding me? That's my kind of hunting.
I just keep waiting for the season. I never get the draw though.
For cow season.
Yeah.
There were like 6 cattle way back, like 30 miles back into this, the area that we're hunting. And they do, so it's, some of it's BLM land, some of it's the Forest Service. The Forest Service,
Black Lives Matter have land.
Bureau of Land Management.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not those guys. They don't have land. Come on.
I didn't know. Like,
Except for the leader. They spent a lot of money on a lot of properties.
The white guy that runs that?
Yeah. But no,
You know BLM's run by a white guy, right?
well, it's who all the followers are too, probably.
That's also true.
but so in the non-hunting months, in the summer months,
There's elk everywhere.
No, it's all cross fenced, and they run cattle. The state allows ranchers to bring their cattle out and graze because it's actually like really fertile land. And then they're all supposed to get their cattle out by a certain time, and they put in for different areas and sections and all that shit that's out there, and it's all cross fenced and gated and all that fun stuff. But I guess some dude forgot like 6 or 7 cattle. And we're getting towards the end of the hunt, and I was like, "Those fuckers are still out there." Like, I'm coming home with
because
meat.
black cows don't matter.
No.
No.
Yep.
Shoot
Dude, that
those
is an
ones.
expensive.
But no, the
that
worst-
is a expensive fucking forget.
Well, the worst part about it is if it'll get to a point in the winter that all those cows will just die. They will freeze to death because they don't have shelter and it gets so cold and snowy.
Yeah.
And there's no food.
Eric was telling me about, I think it was 2007 or 8, and I might be wrong, but they ended up getting like 10 feet of snow out by Gunnison, like in the mountains. And all the deer and elk, like nothing can move in that much snow.
Right.
And so all the deer and elk came into the city of Gunnison and were like wandering the streets because there was no snow. And they actually had to like bring in like alfalfa bales to feed these animals because there were so many. And when all the snow melted, the roads were just lined with dead animals, like every 5 feet was a dead elk or deer or something. And it was like this major, huge thing that they had to like, I don't know, deal with, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
But it was pretty interesting when he was explaining it to me. But yeah, imagine like you just wake up one morning and there's like 400 elk like in your front yard eating all your grass and then moving to the
hunting is
neighbor.
easy.
It's really
Yeah,
easy to
it's out
get
of
that
season.
shot off.
Out of season at that point.
You can't hear a bow.
No,
I guarantee you
dragging it off.
There's
though.
probably a lot that were taken.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'd lasso one of those bitches.
So
Ride it through
Scott,
town.
how was your weekend, buddy?
It was good.
Yeah,
Went to Mississippi.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
24 hours in a car. And then
Yeah.
good day of networking and hanging out with the guys up at Spring Street Cigars doing their annual first responders event. Giving out free cigars. It was easy.
Yeah.
Weehaw, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Got them both.
Well, boys,
How about
Yeah.
if somebody wants to dose my glass real quick,
Oh.
I don't want to raise my glass and say thanks without. Oh, look at this.
there we go. Look at that
Sharing
shit.
is caring.
Here for you, buddy.
So I guess first and foremost, I'm gonna raise my glass. Say thank you to all you mediocre sons of bitches, except for
Yeah.
you, Dave. You're subpar.
I think I'm returning your Christmas gift.
At yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. But I'm gonna say thank you for being my freedom friends.
Subpar could be like you birdie all the time.
Subpar is mediocre.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there you go.
I suppose I probably should have let you finish that statement because you could have been leaning towards the direction of subpar at drinking, which I in fact am.
You were actually phenomenal at not drinking.
Yes.
See, there you go.
Yes.
Where were we?
I think I was trying to say
I'm gonna
thanks for
raise
being my
this
freedom
glass.
friends. I'm going to raise this glass. Say thank you for being my freedom friends. Like, share, subscribe, push all those buttons. Hit up warfightertobacco.com. Use that code.
FTFO.
There it is. For 15% off. Hit up our friends at owellness.us if you're trying to go in the back door. And use that code FreedomFriends25 and get a quarter off your order. And yeah. 3 little words, 3 little pieces of advice to live by. Johnny?
Smoke on.
Scotty?
Drink on.
Dave, hit him with it.
God damn it, boys. Freedom the fuck on.
There it is. See you guys next time.